Here we will see entry widget in Tkinter. The entry widget in Tkinter is a graphical user interface element that allows user to input and edit a single line of text. It is a fundamental component for creating interactive forms and applications where user input is required. Entry widget accepts any string input, but you can validate the entry widget to meet your requirements. That is, you can create an entry widget for entering only numbers. General syntax is W equal to entry with parameters master and option, where master represents the parent window and options represents various configurable attributes that are most commonly used options for entry widget. These options can be used as key value pairs which are separated by commas. Different Tkinter entry options are: first is BG, which sets the normal background color for the entry widget. BD sets the size of the border around the entry widget. Default is 2 pixels. Cursor option helps in changing the mouse pointer to the cursor type. You can set the cursor type to arrow, dot, hands, etc. Font is used to set the font for the text, and FG is used to set the foreground color for the text. Justify option controls how the text is justified, that is center, left or right. Relief option sets the border style. Default value is flat. You can set this option to any other styles like flat, groove, raised, ridge, solid, etc. Normally the characters that the user types appears in the entry widget. To make it as a password, you can set the characters using the show. In order to retrieve the current text from the entry widget, you can set the text variable option to an instance of the string variable class. Then highlight background. This option is used to represent the color to the displayed in traversal highlight region when the entry widget does not have the input focus. Highlight color option is used to represent the color to use for the traversal highlight rectangle, which is drawn around the widget when the widget has an input focus. Select background. This option is used to indicate the background color for the selected text. Select foreground option is used to set the font for the selected text. Select border width. This option indicates the width of the border to display around the selected task. Width option indicates the width of the image or width of the text to display. With Xscroll command, you can link the entry widget to the horizontal scroll bar if you want the user to enter more text rather than the actual width of the widget. And insert background option mainly represents the color to use as a background in the area covered by the insertion cursor. And this color will normally override the normal background color for the widget. Different methods with entry widgets are: delete with parameters first and last. This method is used to delete the specified characters inside the widget. Get method is used to get the entry widget's current text as a string. iCursor method with parameter index is used to set the insertion cursor just before the character at the specified index. Index method is used to place the cursor to the left of the character written at specified index. Select clear method is used to clear the selection in case of some selection has been done. If there is a presence of some selection, then select present method will return true. Otherwise it will return false. The method insert with parameters index and s is mainly used to insert specified string before the character placed at the specified index. Select adjust with parameter index. This method mainly includes the selection of character present at specified index. Select form with parameter index is mainly sets the anchor index position to the character specified by the index. Select range with parameters start and end is used to select the characters to exist between the specified range. Select to with parameter index is mainly selects all the characters from the beginning to the specified index. XP with parameter index method is used to link the entry widget to the horizontal scroll bar. And XView scroll with parameter number and what is mainly used to make the entry widget scroll bar horizontally. Then we'll see the example. First we'll import the Tkinter as tk. Then we'll create a root window as tk.tk and we'll set the root window geometry as 250 by 200, that is height and width, and we'll set the title as welcome to learn entry widget. Then we'll create entry widget as entry equal to tk.entry with parent window as root. Then we'll set the background color as yellow, border width as 4 pixel, cursor as arrow. We'll set the font as caliber, foreground color as red, justify as center, relief as groove. Then we'll set the password character with show. Select background color to set the background color for the selected text. Then select foreground color, we'll set the foreground color for the selected text. Then with selected border width, we will set the border width for the selected text. And when we execute this, it will create an entry widget as shown. Then we'll create an entry widget in Jupyter Notebook. First we'll import Tkinter as tk. Then first we'll create a root window. So root equal to tk.tk. Then we'll set the root window geometry, that is height and width for the root window, and we'll give the title as. Then we'll create entry widget as e equal to tk.entry with root window as parameter and background color as sky blue. Then we'll set e.pack and root.main loop, and we execute. It will create an entry widget with background color sky blue. If we click inside the entry widget, we can type here. Then we'll set border size as 4 and cursor as weight, and if we execute, when we move the cursor to the entry widget, it will set the cursor to the weight option. If we set as arrow and if we execute, it will set the cursor as arrow. Then we'll set foreground color as red, and we'll set the font, and if we execute, it will set the font size as 15, and when we type here, it will set the foreground color for the text as red. If I set here bold, it will type the text in bold letter. Then we'll see justify option. If I give here center, it will set the cursor to the center of the widget. If I give here right, it will set the cursor right of the widget. Then I will use show option. I will set the character to asterisk, and if I execute, whatever you type, it will show in asterisk. Then we'll set select background to yellow, and if I execute, and if I type the content, and if I select the characters, it will set the background color to yellow for the selected text. Then I will set select foreground. I will set the color to blue, and I will execute, and when I type the content and when I select it, it will make the background color for the selected text to yellow and foreground color for the selected text as blue. Then we'll check relief option equal to raised. It will change the border style for the widget as raised. If I make it to groove, it will change the border style to groove. I will set the width equal to 10, and I execute. It will set the width of the widget as 10. If I change it to 20, it will set the width of the widget as 20 pixels. That is, to create an entry widget, first we have imported the Tkinter as tk, then we have created the root window, and we have set the root window geometry as 250 by 200, that is width and height for this root window, and we have created the entry widget with parent window root, background color as sky blue, border width as 4, cursor as arrow, foreground color as red, font as caliber, justify is to right, show method is used to set the password character for the widget, then select background color which is used to change the background color for the selected text, then select foreground color which is used to set this foreground color for the selected text, relief is used to set the border style for the widget, and width is used to set the width for the widget.